And welcome back to Templeboy Turnings. You are all very welcome. Okay, so jumping straight into the project this week. You've already had a taster of it from the last video that I put up a couple of days ago of making up these blanks out of CD cases. It was a long enough process. You saw what was involved. A few people have asked some questions on the amount of CDs, how much glue and stuff like that. I used 16, if you see that, 16 small tubes of 7-gram thin CA super glue, and I get those from a bargain store here in Ireland called Deals, and you can get 4 of those tubes for €1.49, so I don't know how much that works out, probably about $1 for 4 tubes of it, and I use 16 tubes to make up my blanks. What's that, about €6, $5 maybe of glue. So no, it didn't cost me a fortune in glue. There's roughly, I think, between 50 and 60 CD cases, complete CD cases in this project. And as you saw, I just used blue and green, and because, as I've explained before in projects, the glue reacts with the colours, so you get this kind of mottled, cool effect of the different colours blending, which you'll see as we turn this down. It's the biggest CD case project so far, so let's hope it goes to plan and not how some of the other projects have gone. So yeah, join me over at the lathe and I'll see you there. Okay, so I've put what's going to be the cup of the goblet onto the lathe first. I was going to do the what's going to be the spindle, but we'll do this first so that we can establish what size hole we're going to have to match the spindle up to. I've put my pin jaws into my chuck to hold it, and I've brought the tailstock up just to support it. I have my face shield and I have a mask just here as well. Okay, so because obviously there will be fumes coming off of this because it's all super glue or CA glue. What I'm tempted to do is, because this is going to be the cup of the goblet, it's got to be a lot smaller than this obviously. So I think I'm going to reduce it down, and then I think also what I'm going to do is I'm going to hollow it out while it's this size, because then it will be less pressure on the rest of the goblet when I've glued it all together. So I think hollowing this cup out would be a good idea to do now while it's on the chuck. So what some of you are probably thinking, because I have had it said on past projects, is why didn't I cut these discs down to this size when I was cutting them in the cutting process? And because surely there wouldn't be as much waste. Well, that's not true, because if I did cut this down this size, I would still have the waste left over from the CD cases that I've cut out. So I'm as well to have more surface to glue up and then turn down than to cut smaller discs. But with my next video, I am going to be taking all these strings and I'm going to be melting them down and trying to make a blank out of them, along with all the offcuts. So there's not going to be any waste. I know a lot of you think that I'm wasting all this stuff, but I have been gathering this up. I've got bags of this stuff, and I have been experimenting. Some experiments have gone wrong, but bear with me. I'm not wasting as much as you think. Okay, so another thing that was mentioned on a couple of CD projects that I've done before, the guys that are worried about my safety and these strings, that you say that it's very dangerous to put my hands near these strings because they could grab me and they could take my finger off. Well, with these CD cases that isn't the case, because I'm creating friction with my tool on these cases, okay, and it's softening up the plastic, and that's how I'm getting to do a shiny finish and how I'm getting to peel back the plastic. Now as soon as this plastic cools, it goes back to its original form, which is brittle, okay? So I could turn this lathe on now and I could have these strings wrapped all around my fingers, but they're only going to break away. They'll snap and they'll break. So they're not dangerous at all. You see, I can wrap these around my fingers and I can pull them as hard as I want, and they just break away like sticks and straw. So in my opinion, they're not dangerous at all. Okay, so I should just take you around this cup. Pretty much like, I don't know if you've seen my video on the colour changing box that I made. Well, this is pretty much the same. As you come round, the colours change. On this it goes almost transparent towards the side, and then as you come round and go inside, and all the blues and the purples kind of show up. It's come up very nice. Okay, so I've got my what's going to be the spindle of the goblet in here now. I've took the corners off with the bandsaw just to kind of reduce the amount of corners that they're going to be spinning. I've got it just squashed between the chuck and the tailstock. So let's just start off by trying to make it round. Okay, I need to take the inside diameter of the hole in the bottom of my goblet cup, which is that. Very nice. That fits. I'll just glue that in, and I've just got to refine this a little bit once it's glued in, and then I can stick the top on and we can call that done. Guys, one 7-inch tall by 3-inch round goblet made from roughly 50 or 60 CD cases. It turned out really well. I'm very pleased with it. It's got a real marble effect to it, pretty much like all these little projects do with the CD cases, but it looks really cool. If you look at it in the light, it looks almost transparent from the side, and then when you turn it, it changes colour. It's really cool. I'll put some pictures up at the end as usual anyway. Yeah, so that's that. Just to let you know that my new webpage is up and running now. It's just templeboyturnings.com if you want to go over and have a look. There'll be a, I don't know, around here somewhere. Templeboyturnings.com. If you want to have a look, there's a shop and there's a blog and there's a bit about me. It's still work in progress, so I'll be adding stuff onto it over the next few weeks, but I finally got it up and running. So I hope you've enjoyed this project. If you have, hit the like and leave a comment as usual, and I try and answer all the comments. Yeah, that's it guys. Until next time, thank you very much.
Now, left on me to